All right, we are back. I'm Cara Pallone, and I'm the news director at Koto Radio. I'm thrilled to be back on Almost Live, and I brought the Koto team with me. We've got Heidi Sarazen, who's been at Koto for just over a year now. She does about 1 million things that I'm not going to list right now, but we'll be talking about the live festival broadcast here in a minute. And I also have Julia Caulfield, who is the newest kid on the block at Koto. She's been at Koto for almost 6 months now and is a reporter, part of the news team. And Julia, why don't you tell a listener, Julia, it's really hard to make the transition to TV from radio. Why don't you tell viewers a little bit about where you're from and your background?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Alaska, but have spent some time in Colorado. I have family who lives here, and I actually got my start in radio at the community radio station up in Boulder. And so now I'm so excited to be here, be in Telluride, and getting to be part of Koto has just been a dream, to be part of this team and getting to report.
Yeah. Well,
cool little town.
I wanted to ask you, now that you've been here for almost 6 months, what's been a highlight of your tenure?
Yeah. I think it's not even necessarily, it is news related, but not necessarily like a story that we were working on. One of the days that I just really enjoyed was actually that day when we had the huge snowstorm.
Yes.
When school was canceled, there was so much snow on the mountain. Snowmageddon.
Snowpocalypse.
Yes. And for me, it was just a really cool day because we always hear about how like Koto is such a central part of the community. It's such a vibrant space and outlet for the community to learn about what's going on. But on that day, I really felt it when we were jumping on like every 15 minutes. This is what's happening with the snow. Yeah. And then the power went out and we're out there getting the generator to work and everything. And so I think that day for me really kind of highlighted and captured the heart of Koto and then the heart of Koto as a part of the community.
Beautiful. And speaking of highlights, one of the perks of working at Koto is producing the live festival broadcast. And Heidi and I produce the summer broadcast. And the first one is coming up. It's a marathon, Bluegrass, 4 days this weekend. We'll be bringing the sounds from Town Park all weekend long. So Heidi, first of all, what do you love most about the broadcast?
Well, Bluegrass is probably my favorite festival that we have in Town Park over the summer. We're so spoiled with all the music that we get, but Bluegrass has a special place in my heart. And I think my favorite part of the broadcast is getting to meet all these artists that I have looked up to for so long, and to get the chance to speak with them and have these conversations with them and to see, how personable and how down to earth a lot of these huge names are.
So you wouldn't be referring directly to the Tedeschi truck stand, right?
It was a way to start off. Last year was my first year co-producing with you, and I had the opportunity to talk to Derek Trucks and Susan Tedeschi, which I could be done with my broadcast career at this point after that. But yeah, it was. It's very humbling, maybe is the word, but yeah, it's been incredible.
I think the coolest thing too is just knowing how many people are tuning in all across the world. Last year we had someone listening from Peru. They were commenting on social media, which we totally got a kick out of. And people can go to koto.org and listen from all over the world and on all of our local frequencies. Another highlight is that we're bringing, for people who can't make it into the festival, who are locals, who are working, it's fun to go into all the restaurants and hear Koto, and they're able to still feel like they're at the festival even though they have to work and they can't make it to all the music. And
definitely. And something that listeners get that's kind of a special perk is the interviews.
Yeah.
People that are in the grounds at the festival themselves, they don't necessarily hear those conversations we get to have with the artists. So it's kind of a perk if you want to bring the radio into the festival,
totally,
to catch those.
And we do our interviews during set breaks because of the noise level, so that's when it's kind of, a little bit softer noise level. And who are you most excited to interview this weekend?
I am most excited about Jerry Douglas. I get to interview Jerry Douglas, and I'm going to try not to be nervous. But Yep, Jerry Douglas. We have horseshoes and hand grenades coming in.
Quite a few.
Quite a few.
Yeah, leftover. Tune in.
Yeah.
Tune in to koto.org.
Just a tease.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. And, you know, speaking of great community events, without our great local events like Bluegrass, Telluride wouldn't be the special community that it is. The same goes for TTV, a public access channel that depends on community support to help make the community great. And we want to give a shout out to a few of our most generous supporters, the town of Mountain Village, the town of Telluride through Case, and Telluride Ski and Golf Company. I think that about does it for the Koto segment. And we're going to toss it to a retro ride, Koto Lip Sync in the 90s.